Wholistic Hearts fam, I am back. I am so thrilled to be pressing record right now. It is December 31st as I'm recording this in 2024, and it feels very fitting that I get to press record on the last day of 2024. And if you were with me in 2023, in the years prior, you know that the story of needing to lay down Wholistic Hearts for a season, and at that time, I had no idea how long, was upon me in 2023, the end of December 2023. So let me recap a little bit. Last year, I felt like the Lord had asked me to surrender and lay down one of my heart's greatest joys, which was this podcast, Wholistic Hearts. It felt like grief. I did not want to surrender, but I knew that trusting Him was really what I needed to do. And so I did. I took the whole year off. And in this past November, on November 2024, I felt Him in my spirit say, it's time, if you want, to pick back up Wholistic Hearts. And you betcha I sure did. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I could just take a deep breath and say, yes, Lord, I am so ready to be back with my people who are hungry for Jesus, to know Him, to see Him, to hear Him. And so I want to share with you what I have learned in this past year. And I can't quite say exactly everything that I've learned yet. And I can't tie it up into a nice, pretty bow and give you exactly why, but I can tell you the clues and the keys and the things that I have learned over this past year of laying down, of this year of surrender. So let me start here with this. As I spoke in my final episode of 2023 over a year ago, I said that I would be focusing more on building my podcast business and that podcast coaching for Kingdom entrepreneurs and supporting women podcasters in launching their podcast. And I absolutely did just that. And for that, I am grateful for focus. And it was also a year that my heart, my holistic heart, needed to do some healing quietly. And nothing really happened that was monumental or, nothing like giant trials recently that needed to heal. But it was like the Lord had called me to just come into the doctor's office so that He could look over my heart. And I recognized during this whole year that there were some areas that really needed to be tended to. And the whole year ended up being a year of letting go of beliefs, of some areas that were maybe patched up temporarily. And it was a year of surrendering more of my heart to really letting go of some performance that was where my identity was clinging to, whether it was subconscious or unconscious. And as I look over 2024, yes, I did accomplish much in my business, but the area I accomplished the most was in the areas where I laid things at His feet. And at the end of 2023, the Lord really had given me this picture of the Magi coming to sweet Jesus as a child with their most treasured possessions. And it was like He was preparing me for what was going to happen in 2024. I had to lay down the area of proving my worth or my performance, that I get my gold star. As if you guys have followed me for a long time, that gold star, man, I just want to do good, He wanted to heal that even more so. And so as I knew that my focus was going to be purely on my podcast business and outwardly building that business, I had to trust him in that process where I couldn't hustle. I couldn't put on my quote unquote big girl panties and just get things done. I had to trust him in the work that I was doing in both my business and in my heart as well. I don't know if I quite necessarily got it right off the bat. I mean, I did lay down Wholistic Hearts, which I said that was a very big deal for me, because I was like, Lord, my podcast feels like it's successful. It feels like it is drawing people to you. It feels like we're just getting a retreat that's based off of an encounter and partnering with other women who are hungry for more of you. And it was like, hold up, I want you to go quiet. And so that really was a big push for me right off the bat. So then, for those of you, I love moving my body. And I've always been that way. I just grew up more of an athlete. I lived outside. I grew up in the woods, basically. And so I've always loved accomplishing something in the workout space. So I suggested to my husband, hey, let's do a third round. Yes, third time of 75 hard. And if you don't know what that is, it's a program where you go every day and you go through a checklist of all these things that you have to do for the day. And it's very military, but disciplined. It's just proving yourself mentally tough more than anything. But it's 2 workouts a day. You read for 10 pages in nonfiction. You adhere to some sort of diet or, nutrition protocol. Anyway, so this was the third time. So in the spring, we started that. We completed it in the summer. And shortly after, you're going to guess what happens is I went from working out every day, twice a day. And then in September, the Lord said, Kristen, I want you to trust me. I want you to fast from working out the whole month of September. You guys, some of y'all are like, okay, but not only just physically benefiting from working out, but my emotional and mental capacity thrives off of movement every day. And so it was another layer of me laying down performance, whether it was subconscious or unconscious. But God asked me to surrender and fast from working out. And so I chose to lay it down. I was learning this pattern over and over again. There were so many areas of our life, just as a family, that we were continually asking, okay, what else are we laying down? What is the fleece, so to speak, that we need to lay out and see what the Lord answers? And do we trust him when we give him our dreams, our finances, our jobs, our kids, all of those things over and over and over again? Another layer of performance that needed to be laid down was during the summer of 2024. I decided, and I knew in all of my being that I did not want to work as much as I did the previous year. And so I blocked off my schedule to only work 1 to 2 days a week with building my business at the same time. It feels like the most backwards way of building your business, but God totally honored it. I'm not going to tell you that it was easy. My income definitely went way down, and it was another area of trusting that he would provide in some capacity. And he did over and over and over again. But I knew that my heart needed to be with my kids and my family, and laying down the doing, the striving, the proving, and just being and trusting and choosing rest as my weapon over and over. That was my reality. Was, Kristen, do you lay this down? Do you trust me with this kiddo, with this job, with this dream? I want you to lay it down. And so that was so much of my themes over and over again of almost every area of my life. Do you trust me? Do you trust me to do what you're striving to do in a better way? And even if I don't answer, even if I don't give you something even better, tangibly, it is better in your heart, intangibly. And guys, I will say that I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn about continuing to lay down performance, continuing to lay down hustle, to continue to trust him with the things that I don't understand, why he is allowing things to happen, or trials to happen, or things that I've learned to let go and it doesn't turn out the way that I think it should go. It is a continual learning. And so it is really wild to me, because in November of this year, when I heard him say, do you, it's up to you, but if you want to, you can pick back up Wholistic Hearts, and just felt his blessing. But it was almost so sweet of like, it's up to you if you want to, but you have my grace upon that, basically. And with all of my heart, I'm like, yes, Lord, please let me show up for